Welcome to the Rewards Master. Today we have a very special episode. At least I think so, because I have a great creator on here with me, Points with Phillip. And if you watch his YouTube channel, and if you don't, I recommend that you do because he's got so much information. He's probably one of the most consistent posters in the space on YouTube and just talks about so many different topics and is clearly very, very knowledgeable. So it's a real honor to have him on today. Phillip, good to have you here.
Thanks so much for having me. It is just an incredible experience because honestly, I watch every time I see one of your videos, I come on and I'm just like, I immediately have to listen to that. Just because you always have a really great point, and I'm so grateful that I get to be here. So thanks so much for having me on.
Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate that so much, and I feel exactly the same way. But we do have, as is true, and that's what makes this community great. We have very different travel styles, and we have very different, I guess you might say, priorities in the space. And
Yeah,
that
that's
has
true.
caused us to lean towards different issuers as our kind of primary. Now, I think all of us, I mean, I've heard you talk about you have Capital One, I have Capital One Venture X. I mean, we both
Yeah.
have Chase heavy. You even have some Citi,
Ooh.
the way I understand it. Ooh. You
Yes,
have
yeah,
some
I do
Citi, the
have
way I
some city
understand it.
cards, surprisingly.
And I have lots of American Express, but it seems like your issue of choice seems to be American Express. And we even talked about this on your channel not that long ago. And mine clearly is Citibank. And really today, I wanted us to discuss kind of a back and forth, not, I guess you could say a competition or a comparison maybe would be better between their
There you
top
go.
level travel cards because American Express has long been known for American Express Platinum. I know you love that card. You've had that card.
Oh
And
yeah.
I have the business platinum. I've not yet gotten the platinum. I don't know why. I guess because of their once in a lifetime thing, I've waited. But
Yeah.
one of these days, when they don't have an offer that says up to, I'm probably
Yeah.
gonna get it myself. But I have the new Citi Elite card. I have the old Citi Prestige card. And so I have a
Wow.
lot of experience with their high level cards. And kind of the reason I wanted to talk about this with somebody who's very well versed and a lover of the American Express Platinum card is because it seems like the City Elite card gets a whole lot of critique and criticism, and I don't see it. I mean, for me, I was terrified as a Prestige card holder that they were going to come up with
Yeah,
something and make me change to it that I was going to hate. But they didn't make me change to it. That was first thing that's great. But the
that
second
is good.
thing is
Yeah.
that, yeah, that I wasn't, if they did, I would be disappointed, but I wouldn't be devastated like I was. It was actually better than I thought it was going to be. So, and I know that's a
Yeah.
weird take. So,
Well, okay, so I guess I think we need to talk about the criticism that the City Strata Elite has gotten is kind of deserved, right? So the city decided that they were going to do a premium travel card in only the most city way possible. So they're doing a high annual fee, right? They're kind of playing with the big dogs. Now it's the second lowest premium travel card annual fee, behind only the Venture X at 395. But still, it's like it's they almost made it premium but not quite, right? They give you lounge access, but for a year, right? And they give you TSA pre-check, right? But it's only one credit, and it doesn't extend. Does it extend to your authorized users? I actually haven't looked.
I don't know because we have our own.
Okay.
So,
Okay, yeah. So they do that. Like, sure, they give you the priority pass, but that's kind of table stakes. And then they make a play, and they're trying to do the whole lifestyle card with those credits. But yeah, honestly, like the hotel credits, it looks like what they did for that was they looked at what Chase was doing, and they said, what do people hate about that the most, and let's do that. The 2 night minimum is kind of crazy, especially when you compare it with FHR, which is only a minimum of 1 night. And so, like, I don't know, like it's getting there, but it just doesn't feel like it's quite there all the way, at least to me.
yeah, it's, I understand what you're saying, and that's the kind of thing I hear all the time. But I understand that the thing for me though is that I think some of those criticisms are kind of well, just to be honest, incorrect. Like for instance, on the
Okay.
hotel credit. Okay, you can book a Fairfield Inn with that for 2 nights, and
Okay, that's
with
fair. Yeah.
Amex, you got to book. a Waldorf or some other Ritz or something expensive. Okay. So you're most likely Amex's FHR is set up an edit. We don't even need to talk about the edit. That is
No,
a
yeah,
whole different animal. But
it
FHR,
is.
at least you can only do one night. But in my experience, it's kind of difficult to find a $300 night on FHR unless you're in Vegas or in Thailand, right? So it's like
Yeah. Or
they're
if you're
they're targeting you to
cherry
stay.
picking dates.
Citi
Yeah,
is giving you a credit that you can use completely and not spend a dime out of pocket. And yes, it's 2 nights, but you know, who doesn't stay 2 nights? I mean, I guess the point is that it's not meant to be like your free night cert with your other cards that just, you get the night while you're staying at the airport. No, it's meant to be like a weekend or something, and it covers the bill completely rather than forcing
mm,
you into a
okay,
certain luxurious type of circumstance, right? So to me, that and you said they were trying to be a lifestyle card. I would argue no. It's a pure travel card because all the credits are travel, every single one of them. I mean, the hotel credit, travel, the splurge credit, American Airlines, which that is, I mean, can you imagine the other issuers giving you a credit for for their primary airline? I mean, uh,
that is true.
Sapphire
Yeah.
Reserve is not going to give you a credit on United, and American Express ain't going to give you a credit on Delta. But
Well, you got to work really hard to make it that airline incidental credit work for that. So you are right there.
yeah, and so you got that $200. So there, right there is most of it. And then the black lane credit, I've had so many people criticize that. I've used it. I think a lot of people who criticize it haven't used it. I've used it.
Yeah,
It was sweet because we were in Abu Dhabi going to the Conrad Abu Dhabi from the airport, and I could have gotten an Uber for about $45. Okay.
right.
My black lane was 106. So it cost me $6. Okay.
Hmm.
And there was a driver with our name on a placard waiting at baggage
I
claim.
love that. Yeah.
He carried all of our bags to the S-Class Mercedes
Hmm.
and in style, and he gave us the full tour. He took detours on the way. I mean, it's a luxurious travel related
It
perk.
is.
And
Yeah,
so when you think about that, and they're easy to use. I mean, two of them are annual, and the other one's just every 6 months. They're easy to use. And so I think a lot of the critique of it is people aren't realizing they're not trying to be a lifestyle card. They made a travel card.
that doesn't earn anything when you pay directly with the hotel or the airline
That's
because
true.
it's what 1.5x, right?
It's 1.5x on everything, but that's a whole
Right.
nother animal. But yeah,
Yeah,
when you book directly, because they're doing what everybody's doing, they're trying to filter you through to their portal, right?
that's
And
true.
in the
Everyone
portal,
is
they
doing
got
that.
the
Yeah.
best earnings of everybody because it's 12x and
Yeah,
6x. But I don't like portals either, so I'm not going to defend that. But the thing is that Citi wants you to pair it with no annual fee cards. And if you pair that card with no annual fee cards, you're getting 5x on airlines. If you use
that's
custom
true.
caches, or you
That
get
is true.
if you use,
Well,
you know. So I think that yeah,
you
I
really got to thread the needle
understand.
in order to get value from the custom cache on travel, though, right?
What did you say?
You really got to thread the needle in order to be able to use custom caches effectively for 5x on travel.
In what way?
Well, like so, like if my wife if I'm paying cash for my wife and I to go round trip to somewhere, it's if let's say if it's $600 and I can either like split the purchase up and do $500 on the custom cash and then $100 somewhere else, or like that 5x is getting tempered by that $100 is only earning a 1x, right?
Right, that would be true on the extra 100. I mean, I could say
Yeah.
that would be an honest critique in specific situations. So yeah.
That's true. Yeah, very specific, minute situation. Yeah, that's true.
So if you
Sorry, I didn't mean to
if
interrupt
you
you.
book and travel over 100, but you could always pair the Premier with the Elite, and you're still less annual fee total than
That's actually true.
than the
Yeah.
Platinum card. I mean, total. And
Yeah.
now you've got 3x and then 1x, 1.5 base. And that's the thing I don't think anybody's given it credit for. That's the biggest
Yeah, that's true.
is here you've got a travel card with arguably, in my opinion, the most valuable points of any of them because of American now. And
Yeah.
their hotel, the 1 to 4 preferred hotels, or is that what they're
Hmm.
called? Preferred hotels?
I
Something
think
like
it's I prefer or something like
I
that.
prefer, yeah. I mean, if you
Yeah,
looked at those, that's as, I mean, they don't have as
yeah,
many hotels as Hyatt,
that's
but
true. But they're good
it's the same
properties.
redemption value,
Yeah.
same
They're
redemption
good
value.
properties because I was looking at some of them the other day, and I was finding like they're all kind of like smaller, locally owned hotels, like but they're
Boutique.
good properties, like and like yeah, boutiques, and then in the points value, they're not that great when you think about the I prefer point, but the fact that it's four I prefer points for one city point, like that really makes that value go way up.
Yeah. Their bottom property is 15,000 points, which if you
Yeah,
divide that, that's 3750. That's better than Hyatt's bottom redemption.
that
Their
is true.
top
Yeah,
property is 150,000 points. That's 37,500. That's better than Hyatt's top point redemption.
that's true.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, people argue all the time that Chase has the best. So I would argue that now best, I mean, Delta is a better airline than American, there's no doubt.
Right.
And maybe Hyatt has a larger footprint. But if you want to argue just value, you're talking City has the most valuable points of all the three when it comes to
Interesting.
airlines. And I mean, that's what the numbers say, the most valuable point of all the big four issuers when it comes to hotels. So
Yeah. I so like I definitely have reaction to that, but like it is easy for most people to get value from, and yeah, talking about like American Airlines, that is kind of the mic drop moment for City, right? That's kind of like we have the value now. The I Prefer program, it does kind of bear a lot of similarities between Hyatt and for Chase. There's definitely that. But like when you think about the value that you're able to get, like with American Express points, it is solid. Now it is harder, like American Express, to get value from for hotels. You have to really go hunting in order to get 2 cents per point value for American Express points with Hilton. It's still theoretically possible, but you're looking for, I'm going to pay points on a Monday night in February or something. It's difficult to get that kind of value out of it. So yeah, no, that's fair what you said about the transfer partners.
well, and I
I
think
don't want it to be, but it's fair.
right. But now let me say, American Express, I think, is pretty much as good when it comes to international business and first
Oh yeah,
class. I mean, they're great on that.
yeah,
I mean, they're great. And they have some unique partners. A&A, right? That's a unique for them. I
yeah,
think it is. Yeah. And they have some
yeah.
great partners. But I also wouldn't argue just hotels. I think City and the Strata Elite are way easier for domestic travel for the average person
Hmm.
because
That's
you
fair
don't
too.
have to book through a foreign program to get good value.
Yeah. Yeah, because American Express, if you're flying domestic, let's say if you wanted to fly Delta, you could book with Delta directly, or
Yeah.
you could book through, Air Canada. No, wait, that's not Delta. Oh, it's Virgin and Air France. Yeah, you can book with that, but then you got to deal with their whole program, and then upgrading can be problems sometimes, and
Oh, yeah.
things like that. So yeah, that's fair. Being able to book directly with your points is going to be valuable to a lot of people.
Well, and I think that, if we're arguing for average people, how many people travel internationally?
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a very, very small percentage of people. Most people's travel is domestic. And so, but we're kind of moving away from the elite card to just to kind of
Oh
city.
yeah.
But when it comes to the elite, I mean, I do think the platinum has some pluses and it's better for some people. I'd be curious your comments on this. For solo travelers with lounges, I think it's absolutely better. Um, but I always have to insert that because everybody talks about lounges, 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 but you gotta understand that on the lounges they're the same as everybody else. They give guests, but on the lounges they aren't. They don't. And so
Yeah.
there's a hidden fee there if you don't travel by yourself. So I think that has to
That's
be
true.
factored in. Um, d- when it comes to kind of direct airfare, I definitely. I mean, you can get 5x on direct airfare. But how many people spend more on direct airfare than they do on dining and 1.5x on everything else? I mean,
That's true. I was really hoping before they announced what the Platinum was going to do that it was going to do at least 1.5x
yeah.
because they demonstrated that that's profitable for a company, but
Yeah.
They just
Well, venture
they
does
just
it with
didn't do it.
two, too. I mean,
Yeah,
it's profitable.
a hundred
It,
percent.
Platinum card gives way more credits. I mean, you get like $3,000 back if you're a spreadsheet warrior. I don't think most people are, but if you're like you and me, I mean, we get a lot back from it. I mean, it's kind of a
Yeah,
net positive. And it's easier approval. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, you can get the platinum card. Most people can get it. It's just not
a hundred
hard.
percent. Yeah. No,
And
it's not. It's not hard.
and the elite card's harder to get. I mean, it just is. So I think those are pluses. But the elite card, and tell me what if you agree with these or not, but better
Yeah.
overall multipliers, overall, not on that one category, granted, but overall. But you might think different. Better partners, higher points value, simple credits, better cards to pair it with. That one, the gold card's pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah.
So we could argue
The
that.
gold bar is pretty good. Yeah.
And the system's cheaper. I mean, if you get it all, it's like
Yeah.
a lot cheaper.
That
So
is
I'd
true.
be
Yeah.
curious your retorts on that.
Yeah, definitely. So, first of all, so you talked about the spreadsheet warrior with these credits. So, the thing that I love about the platinum card is that it's very easy to automate a lot of these things, right? So, the Uber credits, the Uber Cash credit is very easy to automate, right? As long as I do pickup and I work downtown, so I do have to do like pickup and like I'm getting that value no matter what. All I have to do is eat once every month, and I
It's
can I
easy.
can figure that out. The Resi credits, $100 every quarter. Like
Mhm.
I'm prepaying to take my wife out on a nice fancy dinner, and it's not terribly fancy. Like there's a lot of places in the Resi system that aren't ridiculously terribly expensive, right? It's
Right.
definitely not like the Chase Sapphire tables or whatever stuff they're pulling over that at Chase. So that's easy, right? The airline fee credit, I did try to use it. I used the airline fee credit for my personal platinum card with Delta, and so far what I've used it for is reward taxes and fees, and then I used it to get my buddy into a Sky Club when we went to Louisville over the summer, and then I used the for the business platinum on United, just because the travel bank's a lot easier. So if you do United, that's easy. Then the Uber One thing's easy to do too, if that just makes you save money. I think the most egregious things can be the shopping credits, for example, like Lululemon, Saks, the ordering credit, and the Equinox credit, which is it's kind of weird that it's still there. Um, those I think the most egregious, but most of the other things are pretty easy to get automatic value from. And we're not even talking about the $600 in hotel credits. And
Mhm.
of course, now that's broken up every 6 months, but $300 is huge. So my wife and I, now I'm definitely am cherry picking dates, but it works for me. So we're going to roll with it. My wife and I are going to Edinburgh next year, and so what we're doing is we're actually going to be using these cards to subsidize that because the hotel, it's called the Caledonian. It used to be a Waldorf, but now it's a Curio collection, or yeah, that's Hilton, and so it's about $350 a night, and it's in the FHR collection. And so basically, because we have the two platinum cards, we're getting two free nights. We're going to book 2 nights this 6 months, 2 nights the next 6 months, and then we'll just pay cash for whatever's left. And so like we're getting 4 free nights out of a trip that, I mean, say free, but I'm prepaying for it to a certain extent. But like that credit's easy to work for. For Orlando, there's a lot of places that are close by Disney that can be around that $300 range, and there's some even in the hotel collection that are not difficult to get value from either. Like I think I want to say the Swan and the Dolphin, which are actually Marriott properties on Disney property, are a part of the hotel collection, and so you will be paying a little bit more than that, because it's definitely not $300 a night. So it'll basically cover almost a complete night, not quite, for that particular credit, but it works, right? It can definitely
If
work
it's hotel
pretty well. So
collection,
like
you got to book 2 nights.
exactly, yeah, no, that's fair. You have to book 2 nights, and so that's kind of what makes it a little less optimistic or optimal, I guess you should say. But yeah, no, that's a fair point. But it's not terribly difficult to get value from. You just do have to make sure that it's in either the Fine Hotels and Resorts or the hotel collection credit.
Yeah, that's been my experience with it too. I really like the Platinum Refresh. And, I'm not arguing for the Elite because I don't think that's a good card because I
Right.
like it a lot. And because I am a spreadsheet guy, but I know a lot of people, pretty high income, pretty high spend people who they don't want to mess with it, and they're just going to spend on their card, and they're not going to think about it, and they're going to let the credits expire and all of that. And I think for those people, they got
Mm,
to be
yeah.
honest with themselves, and say, but I do think it's a good card. What I don't understand though is just the extreme, what seems to me to be extreme dislike of Citibank in general. And I mean, it's almost like even Wells Fargo gets a better pass after their past, but Citibank,
Yeah, that's actually
and
fair.
but why in general is this card such a miss? It's just geared towards different people than, I mean, the
That's
reserve and the
fair.
platinum. To me, the reserve is a cheap copy of the platinum. I mean, that's what they're trying to be, and they
No,
made,
yeah.
because Chase's credit on their United cards too. Their Chase's credits are just, they're just,
They missed the boat.
oh
It's like
man,
yeah,
the
it's like
card is,
they saw all the whole coupon book thing and they're just like, you know what? We're going to take the idea and make it the most like corporation capitalist specific thing, like where it's like, anybody that'll pay us can, set the terms. Like what is it? Is it the DoorDash credits or whatever it is? It's like it's one, two, $5
they
and
use it
one
three
ten
times.
dollars. Yeah, you got to use it 3 times a month. It's like I'm never going to do groceries through DoorDash,
Yeah,
like
what about
because
the
then you got to
dining
text with
deal?
the person.
What about the dining deal that has 150
Yeah,
restaurants in America? I mean,
yeah,
what if you live in York, Nebraska? I mean, what?
right.
Uh,
Yeah,
we gonna,
Chase doesn't want your money.
and they always say, well, when you travel, yeah, but if there's only 150, well, you better be traveling to the right places. I mean,
Yeah,
it's so weird. But I will say, Resi, you were right on that. I also was going to tell you that that airline fee credit on the Platinum, I've used that for Delta, because if you pay with any size gift card and then pay the rest with your card,
that's true.
it
Yeah,
triggers. And I've done that before. So I don't hate the airline credit. It could be easier, but I don't hate it. It's
it
good.
could be. Yeah,
The Resi credits are easy. Even in my smaller community where I live and work, there we have one Resi restaurant, and it's funny because they dropped Resi and they brought it back because they lost a lot of business because they're the only
oh
one
wow.
around. I mean, so I mean,
Yeah,
and it's not a hyper expensive place. You're right. I mean, their FHR credits now are just awesome. All that's true, but I think that when you look at the City Elite, at least in my opinion, it works too. I mean, it works for people. As far as the lounges, you mentioned they only give you 4 American Airlines passes. That's true, but I guess what I'm saying is that is it really that much worse than say the Venture X that now limits? They give more access, but again, they're following American Express. We're
you
going
got
to
to
get
pay.
money, money, money when you bring anybody with you,
Yeah,
and I don't
and
think
yeah,
anybody criticizes American Express enough on that. I mean,
yeah. I was criticizing American Express enough when I had to pay that the annual or the authorized user fee on my platinum
yeah,
card. But it's the thing is like with that, it just if you use the lounge at least a couple of times a year, like it makes sense because my wife she can do business travel, where she's going through places that have Centurion clubs or Sky clubs, and her being able to access those lounges without me being there is kind of important for us, and she doesn't want to have to deal with the whole like rigmarole of getting a second platinum card. So
yeah,
we don't
I
do
get
it
it.
that way. But yeah, but yeah, no, I think the platinum card. It's you are right when it comes to the spending part. Like I got an upgrade offer because they wouldn't give me the personal sign up bonus for the personal platinum card. They just wouldn't do it, and they gave me an upgrade offer, 125,000 points for spending. I think it was like 4 or 5 thousand over 6 months, and it hurt me. It physically hurt me whenever I saw the statement. I was like, we would spend like $2,000 on that card in a month, and I was like, it's only 2,000 points. I was like, oh, I could be doing so much better. It sucks. Like you don't get the platinum card to spend on it, and
No.
unless you just don't care about this thing, which like nobody here does.
And,
So yeah, you're right. The City Strata Elite is better when it comes to that sort of thing.
I mean, it is a top level card that you actually will use in your wallet. It doesn't sit in your desk drawer, or
Right.
in your backpack. It
Yeah.
actually is in your wallet, which I think, I mean, that not that there's not a place for the platinum and the backpack card, right? And the desk card. There is.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that the wallet card is bad just because it's
Oh yeah.
different. And I think that's what people miss is that it's just different. It is a travel card that is, geared towards that. And yes, the to answer the point about that doesn't have a lot of direct, they just went all in. I think what they tried to do is they know that they can make up some of the expense for the card if they get people to go through their travel portal because of commissions. So they're going
Yeah.
all in on that like all of them are. But having the 1.5x on everything and the 6x on Friday and Saturday nights, that one that one
Yeah.
gets
That is
criticized
nice.
all the time. And I'm like, how cool is that? Nobody criticizes Built for doing that 1 day a month, but they criticize Citi for doing it
Yeah.
8 days a month. That's weird.
Mhm. Well, and honestly, like that's the kind of like innovation that we all say we want to see. But again, like you said, like, when it comes, like we're just like, yeah, like, I mean, personally, does it benefit me? No, but that's because like I work a news job. And so I'm working Friday nights, and so like I'm never going to be able to use that, at least for half of that. But, so it doesn't impact me. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with that argument. Like most people, if they're going out to eat, they're probably going to be going out that time. Like that definitely makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not why I did want to talk to you about the backpack thing though, because I actually have a backpack wallet now thanks to the rewards master. So
Oh, really? Hey.
yeah. So I was like, you know what? That's because I usually carry a lot of stuff in my everyday wallet. And I was like, there's so many stuff I don't actually need. So thanks for the idea.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just, I was thinking one day about how do I, because man, when you get like you and I, and you have a lot of cards, managing
Mhm.
those cards is kind of your second job. I mean, you gotta,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, you gotta manage them. So to me,
Yeah.
if I can organize them into different types of cards, that really, really is helpful. So, yeah, I'm glad. Hey, if I had an impact on points with Philip, then that I'm doing something right. So that's great. Well, we've had a pretty
Yeah.
good discussion about this today, Philip. I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing with me. I enjoyed coming on your channel. I hope you've
Yeah.
enjoyed
This
being
has been a
here.
lot of fun.
And
Yeah.
I watch pretty much all your videos. Really appreciate them. And
Thank you
I
so
want to
much.
encourage everybody. I'll put a link down to Philip's channel in the description below. So please go over and check out that channel as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
You bet. You bet. And we will see you here next time.